Welcome to Real Wisdom with NK, a Midwest Film Festival podcast where each week we explore the journeys, insights, and lessons from the incredible filmmakers and creatives shaping Midwest cinema. Welcome to a special episode of Real Wisdom with NK. We're live at Lincoln Park Group on our final day of Midwest Film Festival, Midwest Royale. It's our inaugural Midwest Royale, and we could not be more excited to have our inaugural Winner's Circle brunch to finish us off. We're live today with the studio audience and the incredible winners who just 12 hours ago found out that they are the best of the Midwest. Well, they probably already knew that, but now we just gave them their flowers. So I'm so excited to be with three of our incredible winners this afternoon, and we're gonna let them introduce themselves and tell us where they're from. Let's start there. Start here with you, Mariah.
Hi, I'm Mariah Bennett. I'm originally from Texas, but I won Best Production Design for Hamster in My Head.
Yay! Hi, my name is Erick Juarez. I'm from here, Chicago, born in Guatemala. I have the movie Cake, and we won Best Casting and Wardrobe.
Hi, my name is Davis. I'm a Chicago local, but from Ohio.
All right.
And I'm here representing Brain Rot, and we won Best Editing for that.
Oh, so dope. So dope. Well, I'm so incredibly excited to give you all your flowers and have a moment for us just to be here this afternoon, to be in the fruit of the labor, right? And I think especially as independent artists, it's really easy to continue to think about the next thing and like what you're working on next and not take a beat to just be with the work that you've done and feel really proud of it. So thank you for taking time to allow us to celebrate you a little bit more and to get in community with the rest of the folks who help make it happen and the ones who are standing alongside of you with these awards. So I want to talk a little bit about how you all got into the industry and why the Midwest is where you're doing it, because often when people think about TV, film, they're not thinking about Chicago, which is wild. We are, but they're like, okay, LA or New York, right? Maybe Toronto. Why Chicago? And why, how did you get into it? And this is for everybody or anybody who wants to jump in. Ladies first.
Oh, man. Well, I didn't go to film school, and actually I got into the industry just randomly. One of my regulars, I was working at a coffee shop, and one of my regulars was a director. I had pivoted from my former career to just trying to figure it out as a barista, and one of my regulars was a director. And one day we were just talking about my background. I used to be an architect, and she was like, hey, you want to come work on this film in Atlanta with me? And that's how it all started. Like, I got a mentor, and then ended up moving, and then came back. And my very first film I did in 2021, and it just felt right. Like it was really everything that I've worked for, like with my career previously. It just feels like I'm doing all the things together in just like one title as a production designer now.
Oh, that's so dope. I have to ask you another question because you just hit on something that I always ask, and that is really a requirement that we have in our workforce workshops, is to discuss transferable skills. And you said that you were a barista and now I'm doing production design and it all feels right. If you can think of one specific transferable skill that has helped you in production design that you would have not otherwise thought that I wouldn't have thought this would help me be better at this, but it definitely has. That has nothing to do with production design.
Oh my goodness. Project management and creative problem solving. Those are the two things. If you can do those two things, you can be a PD. Just because you have to be able to solve problems, whether it is if it's loading, is it budget, whatever, you always have to solve different problems creatively in order to make the best product.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think that's so important to remember, right? And I know we're preaching the choir over here with fellow filmmakers and artists, but just the reminder of what are the things that I can be pulling into my work that I do in my job that keeps the lights on for now. Or as Peter Hawley said, he did the artistic work for free, the other thing's paying for it, right? He said I'm paraphrasing, but when I interviewed him a couple days ago, the way he shared that, he was like, I always think it was I'm doing what I love for free. And the other stuff, it pays for me to be able to do what I want for free. And I was like, that is such a powerful shift in perspective. But when you think about whatever that other work is, how does it allow you to be more powerful in the thing that you're doing that you love so much for free? right? So it's really good. How about you, Eric? How did you get into this?
How did I get into this? Okay, so like I said, I'm from Guatemala. My parents moved over here when I was 9 years old. And one of my first experiences was there was a movie being filmed by the house. And we went over there to look. And Macaulay Culkin was making Richie Rich. And Macaulay Culkin was my hero because Home Alone.
Home Alone.
And I didn't go to school for the next 2 days because I was just staring at trucks. And my mom was with me too, like she's like, yeah. And that did something. I don't know what it was, but it planted that seed. And my parents weren't very supportive in the arts, and it's just because they didn't know where to put me.
Right.
They didn't have the resource, or they just wanted me to go to school. That's what they wanted. But once I was 18, I chose my own path, and I went to NIU, studied acting. I studied abroad in Russia as well for acting.
Oh, wow.
And I did go to LA, and I had my fun with her. I was there for 7 years, and I had an incredible experience, and I had my Hollywood highlight for me. I was able to make a movie with a guy who's become my friend now. But his name is David Nutter. He's the Game of Thrones producer, and it was so cool. And that also planted something because I had a small role in that film, like nothing. But again, I was just like looking at everybody and seeing him, and I was like, this guy is a freaking genius. You know what I mean? And I talked to him about cake. So it's funny that eventually I was able to do it. So when I came back, I was like, I have to do this in Chicago because I was going to do it in LA, but it just didn't feel right. So once I came back, I was like, we're doing cake.
How long have you been back?
I moved back in COVID. So
Okay.
yeah, I moved back in July of COVID. Yeah.
If you think about one of the biggest learnings during those 7 years that you brought back with you, outside of what you've already shared of your experience with the producer, one of the biggest things that you've carried back with you as you've made your way back to the heartland from Hollywood?
I think that there's a level of hustle that exists out there that I don't see here that much. I'm learning how to do this too because you have to know your value.
Yeah.
And sometimes you walk into the rooms and you're like, hey, I'm here, right?
Yeah.
But I do have something to offer, So I think what I learned over there, because there's so many events and so many things that happen, that you have to let people know who you are, what you can offer, and hopefully collaborate with a festival or another artist. So
Thank you for sharing that because throughout the week, we've been having these Heartland Hollywood conversations. They started opening night at Rivers Casino with Joe Mignoso, Chicago Fire, who's also co-producer on this, right? And
Yes.
you all have been doing a lot of work together. And then Hannah Hall, star of The Chi. And we've peppered them throughout the week. We had Marina on from Chicago PD, as well as Brittany Ward, casting director, and Patrick, who is a co-writer with Marina. One of the things that Brittany brought up on one of the Heartland Hollywood conversations on Saturday was that because she also was in LA, she's from the Midwest, went to LA for a long time and came back. And I think it's important that as we reach out and we are in different markets, we come back and look at wherever we are in building and be like, hey, here's some gaps. And part of what she had said was like some of the energy around the hobby culture and not understanding your value.
Yeah.
And coming into the room with it. I'm paraphrasing again, but that's what I really gleaned from it. And I'm hearing the same thing. So from your perspective, Eric, what is a way that we can embody that as filmmakers, as actors, as creatives? Because you even share, you started out in front of the camera and you're doing both now, right?
Mm-hmm.
In front of and behind the camera. So what is something that you could share with our listeners here now and the ones who'll be listening at home about how they can start to embody that value?
Sure. I think I don't go to the gym, but I think it's like going to the gym. You got to put it into work. And the easiest way to do it is to show up and support other people because then you're in the space and it comes back to you, And there's not been one time that I haven't gone and supported an organization or something that I don't walk, and I don't do it intentionally, but I meet somebody and now we're going to collaborate next time. You know what I mean? Whether it's for coffee or they have something that they want to share with me, or I'm like, oh my God, I didn't think I could talk to you about this thing that I have in my mind, and then just planting the seeds. But I would start with supporting what's out there because somehow they're going to be like, oh, dude, you got a movie. Talk to us about it. You know what I mean? So it's a balance. You give and you get.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. And I think this is counterintuitive to how I think a lot of people move in the room like, well, if I'm gonna show my value, then you need to know who I am and what are you gonna give me and what can you, as opposed to what you're saying is coming as an open offering. And that's what actually shows what your value is. And I think it's so important because I agree. I can always sniff out who's in the room looking for something or who's in the room working to be of contribution. Because when you're working to be of contribution, that, to your point, that's when it really comes back to you. So thank you for sharing that. How about you, Davis? How'd you get into this? I know a little bit, but share with the audience.
Sure. So I am from Ohio originally, as we all know, but I moved here specifically for post-production and to pursue a career in motion design. Specifically, where I found myself was like advertising motion design. So not only is advertising so specific, but then you have a very specific part of the post-production pipeline, which is something that I still love. But I never really thought that I would get the opportunity to pursue writing, directing, acting, the other parts of independent filmmaking, which I fell in love with during college. So a couple years ago, my creative partner / girlfriend, who couldn't be here, and her name is Mizan, we looked at each other and we're like, hey, we both were in the industry, we went to film school, we love storytelling. Maybe we don't just want to make, like advertisements and title sequences all day. Maybe we want to do something in our free time to like fulfill our creative passions. And so we decided to make a short film together. And I think going back to what you were saying about Chicago, I think because we were in this Chicago community, it was a very difficult experience, like making anything, but it was so supportive and therefore so like easy to make something. It was easy because all of our friends were like, hell yeah, let's do it. We'll help you. Hell yeah. I can say like, I'm a motion designer. Here's my reel. And this was the opportunity where people were like, yeah, but now you're a director and now you're an actor and I want to see those parts of you. So I'm very grateful for the community that we have here. And I don't know if this would exist in a different city. And I don't know if our career trajectory thus far would have developed in the way that it would had it been on either of the coasts, just because we are in a very supportive environment. And I feel like I can confidently say like, yeah, I recently have changed the way I talk about myself. I used to introduce people, hey, my name is Davis, I'm a motion designer. Now I say, hi, my name is Davis, I'm a motion designer and independent filmmaker.
Yes.
And
come on, yeah, let's give that a clap up. And I was fortunate enough to meet you when you were really kicking around the idea of what will it look like to expand into independent filmmaking for myself, you and Mizan, and our Taco Bell conversation. Share a little about that and just that inciting incident of because you sharing that, how you identify now and how you introduce yourself to people, that really, I feel like, was expanded because of Midwest Film Festival.
Oh, absolutely.
So can you share a little bit about the impact that Midwest Film Festival has had on you in your creative career?
We made this short film called Hand Job a couple of years ago that we were able to like have a very nice festival run with and whatnot. And the reason, it's not what you think. If you haven't seen it, it's, I'm so numb to the name, I don't even think about it.
And you even said it, you're like, hand job.
Hand job.
It's hand job. Say it loudly, say it proudly. It is actual little hand.
It's a little hand.
Well, I mean, I guess that still doesn't help with the visual. Continue.
Midwest Film Fest was part of the reason we even were able to start crewing up for that film, because we just attended the BMAs. We didn't have anything there. We didn't even know anyone who was nominated. Someone was just like, hey, you should come to this event. And we're like, okay. So we bought tickets and we showed up. And during that evening, we just hung out with a bunch of people. And then a few months later, when we started crewing up for a film, we're like, hey, let's text that person we met. Let's text those people. Let's reach out via email. And because of that, our network immediately just exploded in multiple directions. So I think that is like a very tangible impact that Midwest Film Fest has had on us and our careers so far.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Davis. How about for you, Erick or Mariah? How has Midwest Film Festival impacted your trajectory in the independent film space? And you as a human, your work, what have you been able to experience?
Yeah, I attended a few years ago too, supporting a friend on their film, and I was like, "This is so dope! I want to be here." When I was in the process of trying to make cake, but I was like, "This is so cool." So it was a motivating factor, to be there. But this, as like he said, we also met people who then are crew members are on the film because of that. So
Yeah, and the film fair, I know Joe was talking about it a little bit on Monday, but if you can share a little bit about what the film fair was and how that helped you to crew up as well.
yes, so we had a talk about a movie we did last year called Paper Flower, and we were able to talk about a specific scene in the movie and how we made that happen. But because everybody was there, we were able to see a couple of crew people who basically, we were like, hey, we're making a movie. We just finished it, and then I'm going to say like 5 people from that event helped out on the film, which was a massive it's the biggest thing we've done so far. So I still need to recover from that. But it was so dope. But had that not happened, we would have been scratching our heads like, who do we call? And the fact that they were there and they're active,
Yes.
right? It makes us feel like, okay, these people are doing what we want them to do and not have to go and search for them. They're in front of us.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. For those of you who are listening and are in the audience who didn't get to experience the film fair, that was our kickoff to the festival season, and that was in conjunction with the Chicago Film Office at the Cultural Center. And it was an all-day event where we essentially created a set. So every department, starting from the school, like from university level all the way through post, had a department on set so that you could meet and greet with the folks who are doing that work. We also had a workforce workshop that Journey Work Entertainment hosted, and it was a how to prep your project for post. And it was a 4-hour workshop where they were able to sit down and get nuts and bolts information from heads to tail of how to make sure you are properly prepping your script for post before you start. And what Erick was talking about, we had a how we made it segment that Davis was also a part of as well with Hand Job and Mizan. And what they did, it was like 10 minutes, I think. You had like a 20-minute talk, but they show up to a 6-minute clip and share exactly how they made that particular scene and everything that went into it. And I thought that was just a really helpful way. We were dreaming up what we wanted to make sure that we were leaving and opening up for education for filmmakers, and this was a great way to do that. And because we pulled in all the different folks from the different departments, they were able to be there representing the work that they did, and our hope was that they would be able to have cross collaboration and be able to get work from being there, because like, oh, now I know you're here, I can crew up with you. And it's so much easier when you just, like you said, you just find the person. You have to be like, oh, who are we gonna get? And I'm like, oh, well, you're here, you're doing this. And I think it's something to be said. It's like, and you're involved with Midwest Film Festival, so they give you a platform, probably good people, because this is exactly why we're doing. Everybody that's working tirelessly back here and folks that you've never even met or seen are doing this for this very thing, for you to be able to have this experience. And selfishly, I just create the experience because this is the kind of experience I want for myself as a filmmaker. So, how about you, Mariah?
Honestly, I was just really inspired. I went to one of the film blocks, and honestly, I was just blown away by all the other talent in the city. And to what you guys were saying about crewing up, there are a couple PDs that I was like, oh wait, I would love to like meet and collaborate and follow them on Instagram and stuff like that. But it was just really interesting to see all these indie films and just like all the different things that they could do. And I love the animation films that you guys had in the film block, but I just went away inspired, and I was like, okay, I want to try this on my next project. And yeah, that's kind of how I left when I saw that, was a part of this.
Incredible. Thank you so much. So we're going to end this segment by sharing what you're loving, what you're leaving, and what you're longing for. I always ask people this, and it helps you get present too. What is it? What I'm loving right now, and it doesn't have to be super deep. It could be like, I'm loving the bagel I just had, but just to get present in this moment of what are you loving, what are you leaving that no longer works for you, and what are you longing for to really open yourself up to the next possibility. I'll go first. And I haven't planned anything, so I'm thinking in real time. What I'm loving is being right here with you all right now and hearing that exactly what we've built is exactly what you're experiencing. I'm loving my Erica Duffy back here, who pulled me into this wild ride and then pushed me when I was like, I don't know. And but it wouldn't be possible without you, Erica, and I'm loving that. For those of you who are listening or can't see the camera, my predecessor, Erica Duffy, who was the executive director of the festival for 5 years and scouted me to come in to work for the festival and created it job for me to see if this is something I'd want to step into, is back here with her little baby girl, which is at Mona Rose, who's just precious. And I'm just loving that you've created this, pass it on to me, and now look what we've done, girl. I am leaving behind the idea, and I said it and I need to keep saying it because I said it the last time I was on this podcast a couple days ago, the idea that it has to look exactly the way I want it to look immediately. And that it is enough to have just started and not to have it perfect, but that we have started. And now people can actually see what I saw in my head, what everybody else that joined the team also believed in, and we came together, and they can see that, and now they can start to invest in it so that we can really grow and give the proper support that we deserve as staff and that you all deserve as artists. What I'm longing for is that beach vacation, do not disturb, beach, blue sand, I'll take blue sand, blue waters. Blue sand is looking blue at this point in my life. Just warmth and silence, longing for warmth and silence. Yeah.
I'm loving my community. I can definitely say that this has been the year of me finding my people. I love everybody that I've worked with since I even came into the industry, and just like really having that, this year reconnecting with everyone. And I just really, really love all the people that I've met these past couple of years. When I'm leaving, the fear of the unknown, because I feel like as filmmakers, we're always worried about what the project is and not posting the project. And that's something for me. It's just like, just get it out there. Like fear can sometimes derail you in a way that you may not expect. And just being more confident and just like doing things and just moving on to the next project and just seeing what happens from it. And what am I longing for? More projects with my friends. Like I really, more projects in Chicago, period, actually. I'm tired of having to fly out for other things. So like more here. There's a great community of people, talented folks. Like, I just really hope more Chicago work comes here.
Yes, come on, amen to that. How about you, Erick?
All right, I'm gonna be honest here.
Please do. That's what we need.
What I am loving is that I'm living my dream. I really like that. I've been waiting for this for a long, long time, and this is, like they say, only the beginning, right? But
Yeah.
I really do believe that now.
Yeah.
So I'm loving the moment that I'm having, especially that my family gets to see, because it's always like, what are you doing? What? Oh my God, do something else. You know what I mean? Like, you're still doing this? Yeah. But now they're seeing it. And now they're like, when's the next one? When can I help? Because they're all the extras and everybody there. So yeah. Because,
Yeah, yes, I do.
Save the money. What I'm leaving, again, honest, I'm leaving all the people that didn't believe in me in the
Come
past.
on. Amen to that. Come on. Bye,
I'm leaving those tables that I was like, hey, what about this idea? And they would be like, no, you've never done this before. You're a first time this. Bye.
That's it. Bye.
And then I want to build this production company that I have. I want to give it a shot and see what we can do here in Chicago. And there's space for everybody.
Yes.
And we deserve a little bit of that too. A little real estate here.
That's right.
That says, this is what we do. This is what we got to offer. Join us or watch us.
Boom. Join us or watch us. Come on. Mic drop. How about you, Davis?
I'm loving the tequila sunrise that I had. I also love the creative partnership that I have with Mizan, who isn't here right now, and the ability that her and I can work so well together and take on all these different projects. Because I really do believe, like in the pursuit of creative endeavors, it is so much better when you have another person and you're not going through it alone. Whether that person is like a significant other or a sibling or just best friends, I think that having that relationship with someone is really special. So definitely, I love that. That's my love. I'm trying to leave. I don't know if I'm successfully leaving, but I'm trying to leave obsessing with what other people think.
Yeah.
And always worrying about how certain things look or how you present or what trajectory you're on. Like, am I doing enough? Am I doing the right thing? And then what I am longing for, we are in early developments starting on our next short film. And I am so excited, and I am longing to sink my teeth into that and to like be back in production, back in pre-production, and I am longing to get that started.
Thank you so much, Davis. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Mariah, for being here. Thank you for sharing your work. Congratulations. And we can't see what you do next, and we can't wait to be a part of it. Well, that's part one of Real Wisdom with NK with our Winner Circle Brunch winners. We're going to be back in just a little bit with our next round of winners here at Lincoln Park Room, our generous hosts of our Winner Circle Brunch. So keep listening, and we'll see you in a little bit. None of this can be done without you. We're a nonprofit organization that operates for the people by the people. So unlock your phone right now, go to MidwestFilm.com and make a donation today.